Welcome back to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. I'm Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Becker. We're rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo. Technically, we've been rewinding and recapping for a while. Not just last week, but like the last month of Nintendo news. And this week, we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you click that like button and just say hey. And if you're here on Twitch, know that you're our favorite child, and we greatly appreciate you being here. But before we dive in, don't deflect, Chris. I need you to tell the people, how are you doing, my good sir?
Oh, fabulous.
Fabulous.
Is that good?
That is good.
Yeah.
What did you do this week? What did you do? What kind of nonsense did you get into?
I'm trying to think. Quite a bit. You know.
All the momentum has been killed. It's gone.
Here's what I'll say. You know, when I was thinking, have you ever heard that saying, it's okay to not be okay?
Yeah.
It was probably made up by someone that was pretty okay. But how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. No, I'm doing really good. We've got the show on a different night than we normally do. Normally we do it on Tuesdays, I've been prepping all week trying to get ready because I wanted to, like, when you get ready to go on a vacation, let me ask you this. When you get ready to go on a vacation, do you prefer to come back to a clean house, or do you prefer to just kind of put off all the cleaning until after you're well rested? Because I'm doing it the other way. I'm trying to get all the cleaning done so when I come back from vacation, I don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah, because a lot of times you need a vacation from your vacation.
So that may be the case, honestly. Like, that might be the case. No, I've been cleaning really, really hard, trying to get everything done around the house before we leave, so that way when I come back, I don't have to go, oh my god, look at all this stuff I have to do. So we're going on a short beach trip with my in-laws. We're taking the boys to the beach. Trip's been one time before, but he was really tiny, and Lando's never been. So it's going to be really cool to get them to the beach. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Mrs. Nerdwire in the live chat says short. It's a week. It is a week. We're going to be gone a week. A little over a week, I think, essentially, because we're leaving tomorrow. We won't get back until Wednesday. So coming back on Wednesday next week, which means for those of you guys who are here early, we will not be doing the show next Tuesday either. We'll be doing it next Thursday. So algorithm be danged. We'll eventually get back around to being on Tuesdays again. I know it's like, hey, we're here, we're live every Tuesday, except when we're not. But no, I'm very excited to go on a vacation. My plan is, I know, I'm sorry, Mel in the live chat. My plan is to play Animal Crossing. I restarted Animal Crossing recently. I'm on like 3 days in on an island. I'm 3 days deep. I've got Nook's Cranny being built. I've got the museum. My apologies. Let me back up a little bit. Nook's Cranny is built. Blathers Museum is being built as we speak. In behind the Animal Crossing closed doors. It's been good. I got a house. I got my tent paid off and all my moving fees paid off. It's been kind of cool to jump back into that game because it's been a long time since I played it. But I've really enjoyed my time going back into it again already. And I was like, I'm going on a vacation. I should have something besides Fortnite to play with by myself. So I'm doing that.
So that's your plan to do that?
Yeah, play some Animal Crossing on the beach and play Fortnite with you.
Oh yeah. How do you feel about what's it called? Time traveling?
I don't do it. I encourage other people to do it so I can go and reap the rewards, but I don't do it on my own island. How do you feel about it?
Oh yeah, I'll do it minute one.
Oh, perfect. You can pick up Animal Crossing again so you can do all the time traveling for me, and I'll come and swing by.
Yeah, I can make it like. I can make sure May's there pretty much all the time if you want.
Yes, that's amazing. Susie says, come bring me fruits to my beautiful island of ravioli. I will be there ASAP. I've got oranges and I've got pears and I've got coconuts. Are coconuts a fruit?
I think so, yeah. But every time, like when the game first came out, remember the duplicate?
Oh, I do.
You had to do it with two controllers?
I duplicated switches that way. Like, I would duplicate switches and then sell them back to Timmy and Tommy's.
I did it with the crown, because if you get the crown, it's worth like 15,000 or 10,000 or something like that.
Jesus.
Or maybe more. And so I would go drop to some, because it was worth more than 10,000 bells. That's right. It was like 15,000. It must have been. So I would just go and drop crowns instead of bags of 10,000 bells because it was just worth more.
Dude, I might have to just do a quick channel over in the Discord for just specifically Animal Crossing. Get everybody back into it again. That'd be pretty good. That way I can come and snag some crowns and sell them for bells. And over at Chris Island. What did you name your Animal Crossing island?
It's one of my least favorite things to do.
No, I didn't scam people with turnips. We'll get to that story in a moment, Mrs. Nerdwire. But you don't like coming up with names?
No, I don't. I would rather them just tell me a name. So I'll just like Google I'll Google things like nice sounding island names and then just use them.
So here's what I
Not
named.
even Animal Crossing specific. What about you? What's yours island name?
So my island, the current name that I have on there is Night Pines. I like that name. I was just like, I'm gonna name it Night Pines. But on my first island that I lost because I traded in a Switch to upgrade to an OLED. On my first island, I named it. Don't judge me too hard. You probably won't. You'll be all about it. Chat, don't judge me too hard. I named it Takis, like the chips, like the corn chips. I named it Takis, and it sounded like an island.
Chip thing?
Well, they're in a purple bag, but they're red chips.
I don't know. I've never had them.
But personally, the chili lime flavor I think is my favorite, if that's what it was. But I named it Takis. It did seem tropical. My wife was really big into Takis at the time, and that's why it got named Takis.
Were you trying to think of a name and looked over and there was a bag of Takis there?
That's exactly why. There was no reason for it. It was just like, I'm going to name it Takis. And it was good. It was totally good. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But Susie, you're definitely invited. The link is there in the chat. It's like the last link in the links up there. And if you need it spammed again, ! Links here over in the Twitch chat will get you to that. But no, like that's kind of been my week in gaming and my week in real life and what we're prepping for. So also my wife said that I used to scam people with turnips. No. Everybody played by the time traveling rules, and essentially none of my friends would time travel. I had like a group of like 8 friends in real life, if you believe it or not. But I had like a group of 8 friends, and everybody would wait for Sunday. And then those who did not have a good sale price, I would buy them from them. With the bells that I had in game, I would be like, I'll buy your turnips from you. How much do you want for them? And they'd be like, this is how much I paid. I go, I'll give you 20 above that. And then what I would do is I would go on Twitch and I would find people who had islands open that I could go sell turnips on their island, and I would turn a profit that way. So I would buy their turnips from them and sell them at a profit. And it was crazy. Like, I can't believe how many people did that, but they just didn't want to go through the work of finding someone on Twitch.
So you were a turnip reseller?
I absolutely was. Oh, Cody, GameStop. No, stop. But that's essentially what I did. Was I was a turnip reseller, and I had a bandit mask and a suit, and I called myself Tim Nook, and I would have people come to my island, and we'd go to the back of my island where I had an office set up, and they'd drop their turnips off back there, and then I would take them and give them bells. It was great. It was so fun.
And so when you did that, like none of them complained about it because they were getting above what they wanted?
Yeah, they were getting above what they wanted. They never sold at a loss.
Did they know what you were doing?
No, I'm not telling them what they're doing. I needed to make money. I was trying to make bells, bro.
Well, I'm excited for us to all be playing the new Animal Crossing when it comes out in 2028. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it'll be out before then.
Sell me your turnips. I'll help you turn a profit. Don't worry. Don't worry. Hey, okay. Don't worry. It's me, Tim Nook.
Cody Nook. I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh man. Have you been playing anything good beyond not Animal Crossing? What have you been playing this last week? You told me you beat a game.
Beyond. Okay. So I've been playing quite a bit of Halo Infinite, right?
You do that with your dad, right?
Yeah, that's what I play with my dad because let me pull it up. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up. I got his stats for Halo 5 because Halo 5 he was really into till Halo Infinite came out, and Halo 5 you need Xbox Live. He was like, I don't want Xbox Live; it keeps going up in price. And I was like, have you tried Halo Infinite? So he did. This was years ago, right? And so he did that, and then. I'm trying to find it, but he was big into Halo 5, and so, but only the multiplayer, never online. So then he switched over. We started playing Halo. Okay, I found it. Halo 5. My dad has 98,415 multiplayer kills.
That's a lot of murder.
90, yeah, he's got 97 days 22 hours and 53 minutes worth of playtime.
That's incredible. Holy cow. Holy cow. That's a lot of time on Halo 5.
Yeah. I know.
How did he feel about a Halo Infinite? I mean, clearly you guys are playing it, but does he like it? Or is he constantly sitting there going, I really wish this was Halo 5? That's the question I'm mainly asking, I guess.
Okay, so here's what happened. So he does like Halo Infinite, but he doesn't like I almost had a heart attack. No, I didn't. Just for the record. I looked down at my phone. I thought I saw something that wasn't there.
Okay.
That's why, not anything else.
Listen, you can't scare mans like that. You've been you health person, you. Jeez.
Yeah. Chris, please. Yeah.
Oh man.
Won't play just regular Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play Fiesta. And anytime a new update comes out, we got to double check, play on there. And so here's the thing. I'm playing on GeForce Now, right? So I'm playing on the computer. I was playing with a Stadia controller. Now I'm playing with a Pink Xbox controller. Shout out to Pink. The musical
artist or the color?
The color, yeah. No, not she didn't. The musical artist didn't get me the controller.
Well, I mean, her name is Pink, you know.
Well, her performer. Anyway, listen. So every time a new update comes out, you got to go in, make sure we're only searching certain matches. We do Fiesta and Super Fiesta. He's playing on an OG original VCR-sized Xbox One. And I'm playing Halo Infinite on this GeForce Now. And I try it sometimes on game, like Xbox Cloud Gaming, but it's like blocky and it doesn't look as good and it's not as good. Anyway, so we were playing on that, and Fiesta is every time you die, you start with new weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like all the powerful weapons like rockets and hammers, or you might then you might get killed by a rocket, right? And then you respawn and all you have is like a plasma pistol and just a regular handgun, and that's it. And so sometimes you'll lose because you keep dying, but you have no good weapons. You just get like a sniper, and like there's nowhere to snipe people because it's like a bunch of small little corridors that are with a bunch of turns that you can't really zoom in down. And so yeah, we'll play that at least 2 matches a day, I would say.
How long is a match? Is it as long as like a Fortnite round that we normally have?
No.
Well, not normally have, but the ones that go longer.
Yeah. No, it's first to 50 kills.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
It usually doesn't last that long. Maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes, maybe less.
I get it. Does your dad go on like the voice chat on there and talk to other people?
Absolutely not. Sometimes
My dad does. My dad made a lot of lifelong friends that way. Like he was like a big Call of Duty guy, and still is. But my dad's not family friendly in any way. So like he shows up and is like cursing people out because he's upset with them. Like that's why he likes getting on there. He's like, you cannot silence me. Like he's just like telling them what for.
Growing up playing on Xbox, I made a bunch of friends that I've to this day never met in person, but still talk to because of Xbox Live. There are like some in Canada. My one buddy, Raptor, he is in New York City. I didn't talk to him for 7 years, and he randomly messaged me on Xbox. He's like, yo, bro. He sent me a voice message. Yo, bro, I just got out of jail. How have you been? He was in jail for 7 years.
Sorry, I've been gone for 7 years. You want to jump in a game of Gears of War 2?
So he sent me that. Yeah, he sent me that voice message, and he's like,
my gosh.
"I'm on probation. Let me know if you want to play some games."
Did you play any games with him?
We played some. Yeah,
yes,
Warzone. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait till that experience can start happening on Nintendo consoles, and it's right around the corner with Game Chat coming. So
Right. Yeah. But with that, like, we would play on the original Xbox.
Oh my gosh.
He had the name the Black Gretzky 99.
Mm-hmm.
And like they have so many different in every game. It would be like, here, get a new Xbox account for free. And so he had that. And I don't know if I would make this account today, but I made the White Jordan 23, but I spelled it out because he spelled out the Black Gretzky. So I spelled out the White Jordan THE, and he wrote DA. I only did it for one game against him, and he thought it was hilarious. So that was.
You're being scolded in the live chat, by the way. Christopher, she says.
Yeah. I did it for a laugh. He laughed. So that was the only person that saw I did it. And now everyone here knows I did it too.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Not even surprised, says Mel. Oh my gosh. No, I'm 100% with you. Man, I'm just, you know what? I'm thankful for those days of just kind of like being able to make friends online and that turned into these lifelong friends. And that's kind of what Twitch has turned into for me as well. I'll eventually get the sentence out.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Because I've got you now, Chris. I only met you through Twitch. We haven't seen each other in real life person. I've barely seen you on camera. You see me all the time. I feel like we have a slight parasocial relationship going on here, but
how do we have we don't. No, that's not. It's
one-sided. Let me look at your body. Let me look at your body. Just oh my gosh. But you know what? I
sent you a photo of my body.
You did that one. You truly did. You know what else I'm thankful for, by the way? I am thankful for our amazing supporters and producers over at NintendoRewind.com. If you'd like to directly support our content, every dollar spent on memberships and merch helps us continue to produce this show. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you will get a shout out here on the show. That said, I want to thank our members, Calamity Nolan, Sierra Christian, Kiatic, and Shiny Bird for all their gracious support. Couple of other things that I talked about doing. I wanted to float out there for the people who are supporting, and for those who aren't supporting yet. You guys know that you can dress up. You can dress up Chris here if you're live on Twitch. You can change Chris's clothes. You can give him a face tat. You can change his glasses. You can give him a Mario mustache for all I care. And I care a lot actually. But I'm thinking about floating out the idea that one of the other benefits of signing up to become a member is you can tell me something that you want to decorate Chris with, and we'll put it as a redemption in the show. So if you're watching live here on Twitch, you'd be able to dress up Chris however you like right in the middle of the show with whatever you want. If you got a game you want to promote, you know, you're an indie developer, aka Calamity Nolan, let me know. We'll put that logo of the game on Chris's shirt. He can become a billboard, just tell me what you want within reason. Yeah. I'm not going to make him naked. Like, I don't want to violate any TOS here. But I
can wear like if you have a salon, I'll wear the shirt for the salon. Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah, no nips on Twitch. That's the biggest rule. Yeah. I don't know how YouTube feels about that, but we could probably do that. But
right, if I'm without a shirt, I'm gonna be like Mario and Odyssey. Okay?
no nips. Period. Too scared to give the people what they want. That's one way of putting it, Susie. That's one way of putting it.
Right.
But Chris, are you ready to jump into the topic?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, what else are we gonna do? Yes.
Metroid Prime 4. It is kind of right around the corner. How many years have we been waiting on this? What, like 11, 12 years now since the original announcement that Metroid Prime 4 was coming?
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
How long since the original announcement? I should have put this in the show notes of Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, well,
Gosh,
you
we're
can't
professionals.
get them all.
We're professionals. This is saying it has been approximately 8 years since it was first announced at E3 2017. Is that correct? There's no way that's right. It feels like it's been way longer than that.
Everybody, 8 years? What do you mean?
It says it's only been 8 years since they announced Prime 4 was coming. Well, I guess that is right. I guess it's only been 8 years since the beginning of the Nintendo Switch. Who knew? I didn't know, but I'm making up.
Right, yeah.
I was making up numbers. You know what? It feels like it's been.
It was right after Yoshi Crafted World. No knows. Don't question them.
Only 8 years. Oh well. Yeah. You know what? It's been near a decade. We'll put it that way. That's a good, neat way to round it up. But we've been waiting 8 years, and finally, we now know that it's coming in the year of our Nintendo Lord and Savior, Shuntaro Furukawa. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is coming 2025. They announced it. They've shown a lot on it. What were you about to say?
Just Beyond. I was just going to say Beyond.
It's beyond. It's beyond our imaginations on the fact that this is coming out finally. And we wanted to talk a little bit about everything that has been revealed and showcased and shown in the directs and in the tree houses. We wanted to talk a little bit about the rest of the franchise and how we think it might stack up in the future, and whether or not this is going to be successful enough to justify it not going the F-Zero route and becoming a forgotten relic that's sometimes brought out as, F-Zero 99 or Metroid Prime 99. That does have a good ring to it, to be completely honest. Don't do that. Don't do that, Nintendo. Don't do that to us. But
I forgot to ask you something before we get too deep into this.
Uh-huh.
Did you watch the Spider Noir trailer? Teaser?
I did not. There's a Spider Noir teaser?
Yeah. Okay. That's all.
Dang it. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to watch that as soon as we finish up the episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it. We'll run an ad break and I'm going to watch it now. No, I'm kidding. But no, there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that is going on here, and a lot of stuff that I really wanted to talk about with everybody, and I think you did too, Chris. And kind of dive into. So, first things first here. When's it coming, Christopher? I think I already said it. I think the website showed it off. What are we expecting here?
2025. I expect it October, November 2025. The only reason I say October is I don't think they have enough confidence for it to be their big November game. So I think it'll be October. If they need more time, I could see it being December and Kirby Air Ride being October, but I don't see Kirby Air Ride being any time before Black Friday.
I think it's December. I think Kirby's Air Ride, Air Riders is a December game. Legitimately think it's a December game, but no, I'm kind of with you as far as that goes. I am kind of with you when it comes to that. But yeah, it is. It doesn't have a confirmed date. 2025 is pretty much it as far as what they've stated. And we're kind of theorizing. This does feel like an October game. At the end of the day, this absolutely does feel like an October game. It's got some slight horror elements without being too super scary. If you look at their previous October games, I mean, what have we had? We had Emio, right? The Smiling Man. We've had Luigi's Mansion 3. This kind of gives October vibes. Mario Odyssey is super scary.
Yeah, Mario Wonder, another scary game.
Yeah, super scary. Absolutely. Listen, the body horror that is in that game is absolutely horrifying. I mean, a man gets turned into a sentient castle. Could you imagine if those walls could talk? But it's early enough to affect their fall fiscal quarter, I think, and late enough to be the holiday game that they kind of push. And it would also help sell more systems and kind of alleviate some of the stress of this early adopters snagging a whole lot of systems at the early stages. So fingers crossed, October. I would love to see it sooner. This kind of feels like a July game at the same time, but we already know what's coming with that. That's Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be the July game. August, what do we have coming out in August? I can't quite remember. Kirby Star-Crossed Worlds? Yeah, that's like the last day of August, pretty much.
And then the other game is just listed as summer. So that might be July or August.
And
or
then
maybe in September.
Well, September is on the table because they did that with another game where it was September. What game was that? I'm trying to remember what game it said it was going to be summer and then it came out in September. And part of me wants to say ARMS, but I don't think it was
might
ARMS.
Have been Splatoon.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Splatoon. But I think we can definitely say that this game is going to be one of these. Mel is predicting September for this because Nintendo knows I can't play it, so it will drop for her birthday month. It was Splatoon 3. So. Mel's providing us citation in the live chat. Thank you so much.
It will be Mel just being a morph ball the whole time she's playing this game.
Just her whole life. Just only morph ball only. No items. Final destination. Morph ball only. Yeah. Oh my God! Did you say around the same height? Is Mel a short person? I obviously don't know Mel personally, but you do.
I don't know Mel personally. I just know she's short.
Mel says yes. Mel says yes. I am short. Mel says I am short. But no, this is also going to be releasing on both consoles. I originally thought, like, legitimately, I was like, this is the bridge title because we knew it was coming to Switch 1. I thought it was going to be the bridge title that kind of leads everybody into...
Like at launch?
Yeah, I thought this was going to be the launch game. And then everything kind of got turned on its head with Mario Kart World because we already knew that Mario Kart World was being worked on. But we didn't know we didn't know that it was going to be Mario Kart World, and we didn't know that it was going to be ready so soon. I kind of assumed, 2 years after the Booster Course Pass wraps up, and then maybe we'd see something. And it was a significantly shorter time frame. They've been working on this during the Booster Course Pass development time for Mario Kart World. But this one, I thought there was enough hype behind it. I thought there was enough momentum behind it to make this the thing that gets people to adopt, and then they do Mario Kart World, and I'm like, oh no, wait, that's a way better idea because more people are. I mean, it appeals to a broader audience, right? Like, Metroid has a lot narrower audience. I would argue a lot more passionate audience by far, but a lot narrower of an audience. And unfortunately, I was wrong. This isn't going to be the launch title, and we've got to wait for it. And we still don't know an exact date. So, I mean, were you on board with me saying that it was going to be the bridge title between it? I can't remember if we talked about that, whether you agreed with me or not.
Well, I thought it could launch alongside. I thought it could launch alongside. What's it called? Mario Kart, just because.
Oh, like at the same time?
Everyone, yeah, because like both games at launch, I thought it would be the game that is on Switch 1 and Switch 2, and well, I mean, now I guess we're gonna get it later, but. There's no word yet if it's going to be with the price of it. If you're going to be able to use it, the thing to get a voucher, use a voucher on the first game, I guess it could, but we'll have to see.
On Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah.
I don't think you can use a voucher on this. I don't think it's voucher eligible, is it?
Well, the Switch 1 version would be.
I don't think it's on that list as voucher eligible.
They don't go on the list until you can pre-order the game, and you can't pre-order it because there's no release date.
I don't think it will make it to the list. I think they're wanting to get away from the vouchers for now because they really don't have any reason to do it anymore either. Like, the whole point of the voucher system was to encourage people to go digital, and there's a lot more adoptees to the digital platform. I mean, I am I am physical media till the day I die, except my inner child died. And when I realized every retailer around me didn't want to have the physical games on launch day. So I am going all digital with Switch 2. So like I'm evidence of like, they are pushing a lot more people going digital with these purchases. The biggest thing that I'm concerned with in that regard, and I know we're kind of getting off topic a little bit here, but is their track record with having forwards compatibility with your purchases now. So like when Switch 3 comes out, am I still going to be able to play this like I can on Steam, where games I bought over a decade ago, I can still download on my current PC, you know?
Right, yeah.
That's what I want to happen.
A couple of things. One, I think there's a 0% chance this is not a game voucher game, because Nintendo has made every single game that they've published for Switch 1 on the voucher program, even $70 Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't think there's any reason why they would stop it now for this one game. It would, if it's $70, or if it's 80 on Switch 2, which I don't think it will be. I think it'll be 70 on Switch 2 and 60 on Switch. So then you'll be able to get it that way with the $10 upgrade.
I'm not holding my breath on that take. I think this will be an $80 game on Switch 2.
Well,
and part of that is because of the development cycle. Like, they haven't been working on Mario Kart World near as many years, and they had to restart development on this because they didn't really like Bandai Namco's direction. But they had to restart, move it over to Retro, so it's already been through 2 studios worth of development, and they were nearing completion from what they had said in the early days, but didn't feel comfortable showing anything that was going on there. But I fully believe that this would go 80. Because of its development cycle and them needing to recuperate costs sunk into it. And they're not going to just have Mario Kart World carry the brunt of that financial weight.
I think it would sell like half of the units it would sell at 80 compared to 60 and 70 on the Switch 2. Because, I mean, it already doesn't sell that much to begin with, Metroid. And then
we'll get there.
I should say compared to other Nintendo
franchises.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, I mean they're
maybe that's what they need. They're a little spooky.
There are a lot of developers and publishers that would kill for Metroid Prime numbers, like in terms of sales numbers. They're like, if only I could sell blah 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 number. But I'm with you. I don't disagree. I think an $80 hike would possibly affect it. But here's the thing. You know as well as I do, the Metroid franchise is made for the diehards. Based on the sales numbers alone, it is made for the diehards. They're going to buy it at $80 as much as they would at $60. I would buy it at $80. And I'm not even that big of a Metroid diehard. It does rank up there in my top series from Nintendo. But I think it's not, I don't know if it would actually hurt their sales numbers. It would stop them from getting new adopters in the same sense. Or not stop, but hinder. It would be a speed bump.
I would say, I think Mario Kart World is $80 because it's going to be the one Mario Kart game for the entire Switch 2. There's not going to be another game, so it's going to be $80. It's going to stay $80. I think there will be less than 10 first-party Nintendo games that are $80 on the Switch 2. I say that now after I said it. I don't know if I believe that, but
I mean, I'm listening. I'm gonna back you up. You're right, Chris. You're right. Susie in the live chat says the kind of person who goes for Metroid is gonna do it for $80. The kind of person who doesn't go for Metroid, i.e. Susie, wouldn't buy it at any price anyway. Depends on how many Pokemon games we get. Oh, we've already got 2 planned. It's gonna be whatever the next generation of Pokemon is in Pokemon Legends ZA. So, no worries. Within the launch year, we'll see them both.
Yeah, I think that'll be 70 as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that.
Donkey Kong is 70.
Donkey Kong is 70. But Donkey Kong Bonanza has not went through the development cycle hell that Metroid Prime 4
Mario
Beyond
Kart
has gone.
Yeah.
Mario Kart has.
Yeah,
my
you're
God.
right.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't done anything.
I think games like Splatoon, I think the multiplayer games will end up being $80 because instead of doing a season pass, they're just going to give everything to everyone except for when they have the expansions like the Octo expansion. When they do stuff like that, I feel like that they're going to have those will be paid, but then they have the Splatfests and all the extra online stuff. They're going to have seasonal things on Mario Kart World, for the Christmas season or the holiday season and all that stuff. I think they're going to have those updates, and so that's why Mario Kart World is $80 and the single player games are going to be $70. Except for the next Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like, "What do you think that they're going to give us for that $80 in Mario Kart?" But then you kind of answered that seasonal. Would you say seasonal items or courses or what? What do you expect out of that?
Yeah, they'll redecorate the whole opening area, basically different themes for the holidays. They could even have.
If that's the bonus content we get in Mario Kart World, I would be livid. I would much rather pay for a season pass than just have snow on the ground because it's Christmas time. Get out of here. Don't reskin those courses. Stop it. Don't give Nintendo ideas. Let me pay for a season pass on top of the $80 so that way I can actually get some real content.
They're going to give us things like Splatfests, but there's going to be Grand Prix.
It's Kart Fest.
Where,
Grand Prix Fest. No, not P Fest. Grand Prix Fest. I'm staying in. We're doing it live. But Grand Prix Fests.
Yeah. Give me that Grand Prix.
No, stop. I can't cut this out anymore. I used to just record it and upload it. No.
But yeah, I think we will end up getting new racers throughout the years.
More characters. This is the most dense, and I know we're supposed to be talking about Metroid, but suddenly we've gotten onto Mario Kart really hardcore now. But
because of the price, yeah.
More characters on top of the 50 plus characters that are already in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who are you gonna get?
Characters.
This is a Galumba, and guess what? You get to drive as Galumba now. Oh, you remember that one-off character that was in that one random Super Mario Land game? Guess what? You can be the ninja people from the fourth world of Super Mario Land.
Well, when the next Stu from Sunshine, when they make the new 3D Mario game, and I'm not talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza where Mario shows up at the end. I'm talking about, spoiler warning, I'm talking about when they got some new villain. Hopefully not those dumb bunnies. The
rabbit, the Brutals.
Yeah, those Brutals, yeah. Yeah, give us Cappy and let Cappy drive. Let Cappy drive with...
He just possesses a cart.
In frog form. He's in frog form. Just the frog driving is with Cappy. Yeah.
Oh no.
Or Samus. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But no, I really don't anticipate this to go less than $80 in terms of pricing for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I am going to draw my line in the stand and say 80 and 70 on Switch.
70 on Switch.
Yep.
Still gonna use the voucher.
I don't. We did an episode on the game vouchers and gold points going away. They will not be available they will not be available on Switch 2. They've already stated that.
Games, yeah.
No bunnies, no Koopa Kids, says Junior 2K over on the YouTube. Listen, Junior. I'm going to tell you that feels really derogatory to call you Junior that way. But that's your name.
Call them 2K.
Listen, 2K.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I love Lemmy. Lemmy's my boy. I do want the Koopa Kids, but I want them to be one character that I can select a skin for. Like, just don't let it take up 8 to 7 slots of characters. But no Broodals. Yeah, I'm with you.
Diddy Kong. That'd be a character they could add.
That would be really good, actually, if they bring back Diddy Kong and we could just call this Diddy Kong Racing. But no, like, the reason that I don't think that this will be voucher eligible is because this ultimately is a Switch 2 game.
It's a Switch 1 game with an upgrade pack. It's got the upgrade pack the same as every other Switch 1 game. What games post Switch 2 coming out are also coming out on Switch 1 from Nintendo? Pokemon Legends ZA.
And is it voucher? Are you able to?
There's no release date, so there's no pre-order, so we don't know.
I'm going to say that won't happen either.
Path.
I'm going to say that won't happen either.
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, both.
Those are all pre-Nintendo Switch 2 coming out, though.
Yeah.
And they were already voucher eligible.
The vouchers eligible for every single Nintendo published game that's at least $50, except for 2 games. And so, what are they not going to allow for the other 2 games that were announced for 2026? Rhythm Heaven and what's it called? Those are also not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say those are not voucher eligible either. Post Switch 2 coming out, I don't think vouchers are gonna be a thing.
Ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. You're my ridiculous friend.
Thank you. Yeah, Tamagotchi Live. There is 0%. There's no way. If you know what, if you can't get Metroid Prime 4,
right, here's you want to put a wager on it. If I'm right, you do a full episode on camera.
Absolutely not.
And if you're right, I'll do something you want me to do.
No.
Why? Are you afraid I'm right?
No, because I'm saying if you are right, I won't get Metroid Prime 4. There is no way it does not come to the Nintendo Switch voucher program.
Listen, I'm just saying. If I'm right, you don't get Metroid Prime 4 and you come on camera.
Definitely not doing that.
One full episode of Chris Cam. That's all I'm asking for. And I'll become the me that episode. I'll be the me.
That's not going to happen.
And I'll hold up my hand. Oh man. But no, but
I don't need to worry about it because that's not going to happen.
That's what you say. Listen, if you're not worried about it, deal? Handshake? Let me put my hand in your hand.
Don't touch my hand. You didn't ask for permission. Easy. Don't touch my ball.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it'll have mouse controls along with gyro and traditional controls. Metroid Prime 4, back on that topic. It'll have
120 FPS.
Yes, 120 FPS at 1080p. Very smooth looking gameplay. From every video that I've seen of this, because I haven't had the chance to experience it myself, but I do have some decent Hertz monitors, and the gameplay looks awesome.
Yeah,
at 1080p.
Hooked my computer to my 4K monitor and watched the Nintendo Treehouse at 4K. Mm-hmm. So that was exciting.
It does drop to 60 frames per second in 4K, but there are multiple resolution modes that you can select. They have a performance mode, and they have which is kind of crazy. We're getting performance mode on the Nintendo console, performance mode, and fidelity mode.
And it was funny when they were playing it, right, on the Treehouse, and the way they were talking about it, like, it's using this mode called perform. It's like they're talking about like that's never happened.
It's exactly what I was talking about when they did that direct originally, where it was like, I think Nintendo legitimately thinks frames per second is a gimmick. That's how they talked about. And we have the Wii U gamepad, and our Joy-Cons come off the system. It's like, and we have frames per second. Like, what are you doing? But first off, How do you intend to play this game? Are you doing mouse controls? Are you doing traditional? Are you going to do gyro? I can tell you what I'm not doing, and that's gyro because I'm bad at it. I can't do it in Splatoon, and I'm not going to do it in Metroid. I'm just not. It's not happening.
One of the worst things about Splatoon, I would say the only bad thing I can think of. Well, there's a couple bad things. I take it back. One of the worst things.
We love Splatoon. Let me be clear here, but it's fair to criticize the things you love.
Well, here's the problem. I mean, I got a Splatoon tattoo, but here I got that before the game came out.
Good thing it was a good game.
Well, I played the test fire, you know, so I was ready. I knew it was going to be good. And okay, so what I noticed, one thing that I just did not like was how you had to do the tutorial with motion controls. With the gyro controls, you couldn't turn it off until after.
And that's been the case. The introductions of all of those games, I think, even Splatoon 3.
Can't stand it. Just give me the option. Nintendo's so just hard-headed when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, so am I, because clearly I'm getting upset about it.
They want you to experience the game in a new way that if they don't, the way they think about it, because this is kind of the way they've always done their games. I mean, if you look all the way back to Super Mario Bros. 1, like the tutorial is built into the game. I'm a robot?
Rob the robot.
Oh, no. Super Mario Bros. 1, the tutorial is built into the gameplay. It's you learn by doing, and if they don't show it to you, you're not going to learn how to do it as the way that they approach it, right? And so that's kind of that way with the Splatoon games where it's like, we want you to learn to play gyro. And if we don't force you to do it, you're not going to learn it. Well, guess what? You forced me to do it, and I immediately turned that stuff off.
Imagine if Splatoon 4 uses the mouse control.
Mouse only at the beginning. It will. I prediction. Let's agree on this, right? We're gonna agree. Like it's mouse controls at the beginning. It's not gyro. Gosh. It's mouse controls.
I think it depends on by the time this game comes out next summer. It hasn't been announced, but I'm just telling you it's happening right alongside Nintendo's. I think when this happens and it comes out, I think it depends on how much people actually use the mouse, because they'll know. Yeah. They'll have those numbers.
I think it will be a very popular control style. I think it will be. For myself, I think I will probably be doing traditional controls more than anything. I will try out the mouse controls. If it turns out I'm really good with them, then I'll probably swap to that. But I don't know. Yeah, the biggest problem I've heard, this was, I think Stephen Totilo talked about it with Kit and Krista over on, I keep wanting to call it Nintendo Minute, but it's not Nintendo Minute anymore. It's just Kit and Krista. But he talked about the fact that even when you're in mouse mode, like there are times you have to reach over to touch buttons, face buttons on the Joy-Con, and it kind of pulls you out of mouse mode a little bit, where you kind of lose control of your character's looking around controls.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see that happening, but we'll see what happens. In terms of this, or do you plan on trying out mouse controls, or are you just going to stick with the Pro Controller?
I have to try them out, just because we have to talk about them here on the show. If I was not running a Nintendo podcast alongside my best friend in the world, I would probably not touch mouse controls.
Yeah. At all?
No.
On any game?
Well, on Metroid in particular. Like, I've just gotten too used to... Maybe in Fortnite. I could totally see an applicable use for mouse controls in Fortnite. But in a solo single player, I'm not out there being that sweaty, sniping. You know? Yeah. Like I'm playing solo single player story mission, blah, 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 go from point A to point B in a game. Like it's not that serious, guy. Like just relax and use some thumbsticks.
Do you think Call of Duty's coming this year, or will it be next year's Call of Duty? it comes.
Next year, most likely. Because they would have to have announced that, because those are typically an October game. That would have to have been announced
but
by
they
now.
haven't announced it yet for the other systems.
No. It's just an update. That's all it's going to be for all the other systems. You just update your Call of Duty platform. It's just going to be an update. Like, just update it. It'll be on there. You can play it if you're part of the Call of Duty membership.
I can see that Call of Duty Warzone being the first game to require an SD card.
Oh, I guarantee it, because they don't optimize their games for modern consoles, let alone one that's still, lagging a couple years behind in technology.
Right, yeah. It's going to be quite a bit.
Speaking of story, so we don't really know a whole lot about Metroid Prime 4's story. As far as story is concerned, there are scant details. We saw in the Treehouse gameplay that it opened with Samus landing and being asked by the Galactic Federation to protect an artifact from space pirates that were rolling in. Then we got a reveal of Sylux, who's teamed up with some Metroids. And for those of you guys who may be unaware, like I kind of was, Sylux is the antagonist from Metroid Prime Hunters. He also appeared in the special endings of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption and Metroid Prime Federation Force, but both of those are the lead up to him being the big baddie for Metroid Prime 4. There are a couple of other things that we do know too. We know that Samus is going to end up on a new planet known as Viros. She'll be granted a bunch of psychic powers. It's also revealed that she's the chosen one by the native race on Viros.
Does this take place after Dread?
2D Metroid and Prime Metroid ultimately are two completely different things.
But is this is the furthest in the timeline?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Wait, so Dread is in a different timeline than here?
Ultimately, yes, because they diverted so much in 2D Metroid versus Prime Metroid. Granted, there is a timeline that some people in Nintendo have acknowledged, but for the most part, like they treat these games in the same way they treat Zelda games and Mario games, where they're going to acknowledge a timeline, but for the most part, they just want you to play a game because it's a game and not worry about the rest of the storyline.
Yeah. Well, I can see that, but do you? Here's the thing, because I don't really pay attention to the whatever it's called, the storyline. I don't pay attention to that. I do like scanning stuff, though. I don't think just let me scan everything.
It wasn't my favorite thing in the game, but I understand why. There is a bit of a Pokemon piece of candy kind of vibe to it. I understand.
Yeah, we got stuck talking about Halo. We got diverted for talking about Halo, so I didn't talk about the game that I beat, which was Revenge of the Savage Planet. So I beat that game, and in that game, there's a lot of scanning. You can scan everything. You can scan like the trees, the wildlife, and I was like, something about the way like scanning things in games gives me like the same satisfaction as like finding those like orbs in like Infamous or Crackdown. The shards in Infamous, or the orbs in Crackdown.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm here for that. Oh geez, sorry. I just got a text message from my son Flynn. He said, "Father, I have not gotten anything yet this season. Can you get me Darth Jar Jar when he comes to the shop?" So, yes.
Over in Fortnite, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
He's coming to Fortnite. Darth Jar Jar is.
Yeah.
I'm with him. Father, can you get me Darth Jar Jar as well while you're there?
Use code Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, says yes, I approve 100%. New father has said yes, so Jar Jar is a Sith. But no, like the storyline for the most part, like they're pretty isolated. Like it's not really all that important to the Metroid franchise. It's more so just like, hey, play the game, and yeah, there's going to be some hints here and there about where it may land in the timeline. And we can definitely anticipate this is after Metroid Prime 3 100%. It's also after Federation Force. It's after Prime Pinball, but it is not going to be one of those games where like The events in Metroid Dread are not going to be affecting Metroid Prime. You're not going to see Metroid suit Samus in this, where she's powered and fused with the Metroid DNA in that same sense. Which would be cool because I love that suit. That's probably my favorite suit they've ever done in a Metroid game. It was so cool looking. Spoilers, if you haven't beaten that game, and a lot of people probably haven't because it's not an easy game. But I would recommend you play through it just to see that. Maybe do it on rookie mode and enjoy your life.
Yeah, do you think before the Switch 2 is done, they will release Switch 2 DS or NSO DS with the mouse controls for the touchscreen?
I would love that, but I think that, and I know we keep going into tangents here, but yeah. I think that DS would be much more benefited by them releasing a second screen peripheral.
Which
that attaches to the USB-C.
Like the patent for it?
Yep. I want them to release that as another thing that attaches to the USB-C on the top of the Switch 2. Like, just give me that and let me play my DS
let a
games.
dog run up to it and lick the screen.
Yes, 100%. That way we can get Nintendogs.
Is coming. Yeah, and Metroid Pinball. Which Metroid Pinball did you ever play that on the DS?
A little bit of it, but mostly just an in-store kiosk demo was all I ever got the chance to really play.
That was one of the few games on the Nintendo DS that had Rumble Pack support, PAK, of course. But yeah, it was one of the few games that had Rumble Pack support on the DS. Metroid, I am looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. I'm looking like the fact that we're actually going to get Metroid Prime 4. The last Metroid Prime came out on the Wii. Not on the GameCube, as some would have you believe, but it came to the Wii.
It did in the trilogy.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since those came out, since 3 came out, and so I'm very much looking forward to being able to play Prime 4. I want to. If I don't have a 120 hertz monitor, I will want to play it in handheld at 120 FPS.
Oh yeah.
In handheld mode, which would be fun.
I'm excited to play in handheld mode on the Switch 2 anyway. Like, everything I've heard from everybody has just been raving about the screen, even though it's not an OLED. They've been raving about the screen, the way it looks, the color depth, and I mean the fact that you get HDR on that screen still yet, I think, right? I could be wrong on that, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really cool, and it's a big screen. I mean, I think the screen itself is bigger than the Steam Deck screen, and that screen is still pretty honking too, isn't it?
Right, without the thickness of the...
Yeah.
Because I know Mel was upset.
Mm-hmm.
Not upset, but she
frustrated.
Was like she would like to get the Steam Deck, but it's just so huge,
it's
enormous.
The Steam Deck is too big for me to play for. Thick with 2 C's, like Kiatic said in the live chat there. It is too like big for me to feel like I'm comfortable playing for long periods of time. Like I
enjoy your sleep.
what a message to leave to go to sleep on. I hate how heavy that console is, and I have high hopes that this one is something that my hands don't go numb when I'm playing it in bed. That's the one thing that kept me from playing my Steam Deck in bed all that often. I would play it in car trips, I would play it on vacation, and I would play it some at home. But whenever I was laying in bed, I never got my Steam Deck out in bed because it just was too heavy to hold at face level for long game sessions. Not that battery lasted for a long game session in general.
Did you try the Taco Bell nuggets?
I did.
Okay, all right.
I did.
How were they?
Very good. Top tier, best fast food nuggets that I've ever had. Mm-hmm. Legitimately.
Do you like the nacho sticks?
The nacho fries?
Yeah.
They're pretty good. I like the seasoning they put on them.
What do you dip the nuggets in, the Taco Bell nuggets?
There are 3 sauces that are out. Taco Bell's not a sponsor, but there are 3 sauces that are out. There is a Fire Ranch. There's a Bell sauce, and then there's like a honey jalapeno, I believe. I've only gotten, every time I've went there, they've only had the Fire Ranch in stock. They haven't had the other 2.
Oh gosh,
I don't
love sauces. Yes,
Susie, I don't know how we got
sauce.
there. Chris randomly asked, and now I'm stuck in this conversation. So
Yeah, definitely nuggets with sauce. Would you ever eat a nugget without sauce?
I have. It's not my preferred method.
Oh gosh,
Nuggets
even
are
if I'm
traditionally a sauce
comfortable-
vessel. Like they're a vessel for getting sauce into my mouth.
Right.
I'm bringing it back to which sauce would the Samus like the most? Out of those three sauces, Samus would absolutely do the honey jalapeno, partly because
but only if you get the suit for the heat.
Gotta get that Varia suit. But as far as the storyline goes, and we're gonna go back to Metroid Prime 4. As far as that storyline goes, with Silex being the big bad and it not really being a known entity in that same sense, and kind of everything you've seen from the treehouse that they did, how do you feel about the story? Are you excited to have this new boss that you don't really know a whole lot about? Is this game going to be something that's going to keep your attention as a gamer?
Terrible news about not being able to digest egg-based sauces.
Metroid, come on, Chris.
Yeah, I got distracted.
I believe in you.
So when he talked about sauces, I played through Dread and then beat it completely. Well, was there a bonus ending? If you got 100% or no?
Not that I know. I mean, there's extra stuff that they show you, but
the speed
no
run
extra
that was
ending.
like super quick. But yeah, no, I beat Dread. I remember being frustrated
with the black Ravenbeak. I almost called him Blackbeak. It's not Blackbeak. It's Ravenbeak fight. That fight is not easy. I beat that on hard mode on stream, and that was a lot of work. That fight was a lot of work.
Beat on regular, but what I did do, I almost started talking about ranch again. Okay, so so there's got to be a ranch that doesn't have eggs, right? There's got to be.
I think ranch is egg based.
I'll look into it. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into an eggless ranch. Okay,
Catalina, check up Catalina dressing. Yeah, it gets my favorite dressing. If you can't do ranch on salads, do Catalina if you can.
So we'll talk about it later. But
goodbye viewership over on YouTube. Yeah. It's gone. They pieced out. They're not talking about Metroid enough. I'm here for the Metroid.
Well, you should be here for the sauce.
Yes,
ranch
Pit
can go in the trash. Pits.
Catalina, it should be in Canada, I would imagine. Chaotic over in the live chat here on Twitch.
It's just
Pit's got the right idea though. Ranch can go in the trash. It's the least of the sauces. It's the normie sauce. You could do better. You could do better dressings.
Okay, yeah, but please, we're trying to talk about Metroid. So I was introduced to ranch on pizza for the first time about 15, 20 years ago.
But you about to say days ago? I was like, yeah, this tracks with your palate.
No, that's bless you. That's bless you. I didn't know you could. I thought you could only say it if someone sneezed, but that's another story. But also, shout out to the Pope. The Pope went to Wawa. Okay, so thank you. But in terms of Metroid, yes, I do plan on playing through the whole thing when the game comes out. What about you? Are we going to race to see who beats it
Metroid
first?
Prime 4, play through the whole thing when it comes out? I mean, I'm definitely going to play through it when it comes out.
Do you think you're going to beat it before me?
Not the way you play. You skip every cutscene. I'm going to watch every single cutscene. You're absolutely going to beat me. If you don't skip a cutscene, I'm kicking your butt in this game.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Well, sign up to show up. We'll play live on stream. We'll only play it live on stream. How's that sound? We'll both go live at the same time, and we'll play against each other. We'll take our ad breaks together. We'll stop our gameplay when ad breaks are happening, and then that's how we'll
not play when we're not streaming. You're saying?
Yeah. We'll only play it while we're streaming, and then we'll see who beats it first.
Okay.
Does that sound good? And then we'll post the results over on the Nintendo Rewind YouTube.
Right.
So it'll be a good time.
Yeah. I'm gonna need Mel to message me which way to go.
There we go. Gotta savor it. No, we're gonna race. We'll savor it later. No skipping cutscenes though. That's how we savor it. We don't skip cutscenes.
If it's over 4 minutes, we might have to.
Powers. Obviously, you're getting the power suit, power beam, missile launcher, morph ball, scan visor. Those are givens. Those are always going to be in every single freaking Metroid game that you can possibly imagine. But the new ones that are coming in Metroid Prime 4 are psychic abilities, and they only have 2 that they've described. One is essentially telekinesis, where she can pull items to her and then cast them at other things to be able to like open doors and different things like that, like puzzle solving kind of telekinesis. It's not just opening doors, I'm assuming. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I'm hoping that it's more than just she can open a door. But the second thing is essentially like a wanted style ability where she can control her beams and her shots with her mind, which is absolutely insane to me. How are you feeling about that? What do you want to see out of that?
What do I want to see? Like what you should be able to do?
Yeah, what powers, what abilities, and take into consideration the psychic stuff that she's able to do. What do you want to see in this?
I want to be able to take over an enemy and have them control them while they're attacking someone else.
Oh, you basically want to do Geist.
Yeah, give me Geist, basically.
Maybe that'll come to NSO.
Well, I mean, it's on my list.
I want to see her not lose her powers, but we know that ain't happening. That is Metroid
All those powers
MO.
that you have in the intro, yeah, she's not gonna have those.
Oh no, she's gonna have beam, and that's it.
See that double jump she had? She's not gonna have that at the beginning.
No,
After
absolutely
the first
not.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Not in Morph Ball. That's gone too. This is a showcase of all the powers you don't get to have.
Right.
Oh man. As far as an ability that I want to see, I do want to see, psychic, more along the lines of really leaning into the psychic abilities. Maybe reading minds of enemies would be kind of cool, just to see. Maybe they've got plans to reveal in the story, and you can read the minds of enemies too. Like, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well, yeah. Well, in that game, Revenge of the Savage Planet, you scan enemies, and then that's when it shows you the weak spots.
Or illusory things, like convince them in their minds that there's a decoy Samus over here, and they start attacking it while you can attack its weak points. Would be kind of cool too, I think.
Do you think there will be a thing where you go into someone's mind and do like another like a game inside of a game, kind of like Spider-Man?
Oh, you're rewiring it?
Negative Man, yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to just like turn them on their friends, like use them as Pikmin essentially. Like, I'm gonna control this enemy now. Like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Mel thinks this is
Oh my god! I can't even read that out loud. That would get us blocked on any kind of monetization over on YouTube. Yeah. Oh man. But no, I think it'd be interesting.
I like where your head's at, Mel.
Yeah.
Space.
Red suit that they showed at the end of the trailer looks freaking sick. Don't really have anything else on that note. I put that in our notes.
How many hours into the game do you think we'll get that?
Depends on how you play. Like, a lot of Metroid games are meant to be speed ran, so it could be 30 minutes if you're fast. But if you play in the normal pace, probably like, I don't know, 6 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
5 for me, 6 for you. I could see. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's a good call.
Let's talk marketing and hype. What do you want surrounding this game before it releases? Do you want to see a demo? Do you want more trailers? Maybe a port of the other 2 games that haven't made it to Switch, like maybe on Nintendo Classics of some sort? What do you want to see? Because I really want Metroid Prime 2 at least to make its way to the Nintendo Classics. I think that'd be really cool. Or even just a re-release that I can just buy of 2 and 3 partnered together. They don't even have to be remakes. But I'd really like that. I don't really need a demo. I'm not asking for that. Demo's not really my thing.
You don't want a demo? Okay.
No, I don't really care about a demo. Because
Pinball?
Yeah, exactly. we can do Metroid Prime Pinball as a part of the marketing hype. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Pinball. What do you want? I will tell you one other thing I want.
Sure, tell me what you want. Yeah.
I want a trailer that doesn't bore me to death, because that 3-minute trailer, like, who was it? Mel in the live chat said she can open doors as one of the things that she could do. That is the most monotonous thing that they could have possibly ever put in there, is, and she can open doors. And it's like, come on now, like, do better than that. Do better than that. Do better. So I don't know. So what do you want?
A trailer.
A better trailer. Bring the hype.
Bring the hype. Snubbike Mike. Shout out to Snubbike Mike. But in terms of what I want, I see what you mean. Like, you don't need to show off the environment, like show me a bunch of action or something.
Right. Give me action. Give me actual legit things that she can do. Like, don't bore me to death.
I feel like they're going to have all those other people there with you in the beginning, and then they're going to be gone. And then they're going to leave, just like your powers and your abilities.
Oh, and you're going to be alone on Viros.
And you're going to be alone. Yeah. You're just going to be alone. You can't even double jump, and you're going to have to scan stuff. And
sounds like the most boring game in the world now. Why are you saying this?
Yeah, right. Well, get ready. It's $80.
It is $80. I will say that. It is definitely $80.
So I think in terms of what I want to see, I definitely want to see Mario Kart. I mean,
what?
Metroid Prime 2 is what I meant to say.
Okay. You had me so lost. I'll say what?
Yeah, Metroid Prime 2. I feel like that would have already been like talked about or announced, but they could also do it when they announced this. I think Metroid Prime
Metroid Prime Remastered was revealed and released the same day, pretty much. So, like,
yeah,
it is kind of, I don't know. I think they could get away with doing that.
I think what Jeff Grubb said, he had heard that 2 and 3 were not they were not like the first one, and they were more just like ports than anything. But so if those two do come, I could see them both be together. But I don't know. I don't know that they're going to come beforehand, which also is kind of silly. It just seems like, why release 1 and then not 2 and 3?
Right. Right.
But hey, at least you can open a door.
I would just really like for them to have the updated control scheme that Remastered had, because the controls in the original release, I really hate not having the free look with the other analog stick.
Yeah.
And it does kind of make it really cumbersome to try to play through. And I think that those games could benefit from at least a quality of life standpoint, updating that control scheme and letting us play through it again to kind of get caught up on. And I know, look, Nintendo doesn't care about the story in these games. There's no like link together, like this is the story.
You'll need both, Nintendo. Yeah.
But oh my god. But it is one of those things where I think the story is, at least from these numbered standpoints, at least a little bit important. And that's just kind of where I'm at with it. What score do you anticipate this game getting?
Metroid Prime 4. Whew. I think it's going to get... golly. What I'm teetering on 2 different scores here. Let me walk you through it.
Okay.
I think what I think it will. It's between like an 87 and a 91, but I'm gonna go with the 91.
I think that's a fair take. I don't know that I want. Tell me why. Tell me why.
A 90. here's the thing. For a game to be like a 90, it's got to be like basically universally loved by everyone.
Certified fresh,
And
if you're going by the tomatometer.
Certified fresh, yeah. Metroid Prime Remastered is at 94 on OpenCritic, and I just think there's no way Metroid's going to get that. I could see it being one of those things where it gets a 91 at the start, like when reviews first come out, and then as more reviews come, it drops down to like an 89. But here's the thing: a lot of the people from Metroid Prime were not there anymore, are not at Retro anymore.
Right.
But those games that Retro did put out, which I don't know how many people are there since Tropical Freeze came out, because reports came out there was games that they were working on that got canceled to start working on Metroid Prime 4. They also did do the Prime Remaster, which I think was to get them in the mindset to make Prime 4. I'm gonna stick with 91. I don't know that I believe in it, but I believe in it enough to make that my final answer. What about you?
The thing that holds me back from giving it a super high score is the fact that the hype machine could affect people's judgment on how they rank this, on how they rate this. But a good journalist is not going to allow the hype machine of it's been near a decade to have them go, okay, well, I was disappointed because it didn't meet my expectations. It's, you judge the game based on its current valuation, right?
Yeah.
So I think if I'm going to give it a score, I'm going to put this at a 94. I legitimately think this will be a 94 on Metacritic. I do. And I'll give you an idea why. For the Metroid Prime series of games, the original one on GameCube got a 97. Its remake on Switch got a 94. Metroid Prime 2 got a 92. Metroid Prime 3 got a 90. Then they essentially took, 2 decades off before they've came out with another one.
Well, but they did do Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, right? And they did Donkey Kong what was the first one called? Donkey Kong Country Returns, right?
Yep.
And I mean,
both of those are in the high 80s, I think. 88 and 84.
Yeah.
So, like, I think though that they know what's at stake with this, to put out a good game to get people to adopt into this franchise. Because also, like, these games aren't necessarily bangbusters selling multi-millions. In most cases, these things are lucky to sell 1 million. Metroid games in general. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. 1 million units of anything sold is 1 million units, like that's a big number.
Right.
But it's not like Mario Kart, where pretty much every Switch has one. And how many millions of units has been sold of Switches? And 150 million, like who knows how many millions of Mario Karts are out there.
But so you, review-wise, I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to sell or be a OpenCritic of 91, and you think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be
a Metacritic 94. Metacritic 94.
94, and I think 91.
I know it's high. It's high. It's as high as Metroid Prime for the Switch, right? If they can't meet or exceed that, there's no reason they should have taken 8 years to make this game.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell.
Yep. How do you feel about the Metroid series as a whole, though? Your personal take. Do you like if you're looking at Metroid, not just Metroid Prime, but the 2D Metroids included, the spin-offs, other M included, how do you feel about Metroid as a whole with its franchise?
I think there's only two Metroids that I don't like to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Metroid Prime or Metroid 1
mm-hmm.
and Metroid on the Game Boy.
The original two.
The original two. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but everything from Super Metroid onward, I like a lot. I really enjoy all of them. Especially those Game Boy Advance games.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Fusion and Zero Mission? Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I like those a lot. And then Dread. Yeah. But yeah, Blast Ball.
Biggest Blast Ball fan.
Yeah. Don't forget Blast Ball. You remember Nintendo announced Blast Ball, and then they announced it comes with Metroid Prime Federation Force, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that whatever that Nintendo game is, do you think that will have more to it, or is it just going to be this?
It's just going to be
what
this.
we see.
It's going to be what we see. It's absolutely going to be what we see.
All right. Blast Ball it is.
So you've done a lot of justification here. So how do you feel about it though? Like, does it rank way up there? Like, if you had to give the franchise as a whole a score for yourself, what score would you give the entirety of Metroid?
Well, in terms but with Metroid Prime,
all of them, Prime, 2Ds, Federation Force, Other M, even.
I think in terms of all of the game, I think it might be number 3 for me behind the Legend of Zelda series and the Mario series.
Okay. I'm totally fine with that. And I would agree with that assessment. If I was going to rank it in series rather than giving a score to it, I would agree with that.
I completely ignored what you said.
It is Mario, it is Zelda, it is Metroid, then maybe Kirby.
You got that wrong. It was Zelda, then Mario, then
No,
Metroid.
That's like your opinion, dude.
Then Punch-Out.
Oh, yeah, the franchise of Punch-Out with Super Punch-Out and Punch-Out and Punch-Out for the Wii.
Yeah.
And Punch-Out Arcade.
Yeah, Punch-Out Arcade and Punch-Out versus, don't forget.
Get out of here. Teleroboxer.
Yeah. Punch-Out versus for what was it? Play and Watch, the Versus series that they did.
The Game and Watch.
The Game and Watch. What did I say? Play and Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Game and Watch. But it was only that in America for a certain run of the game after it came out. But anyway, either way, franchise number 4. And then I can't put Kirby on there. Kirby's just so Kirby. Okay, it reminds me of
no. Stay focused. We're already an hour and a half into this. No more. Give me a number.
In terms of the series as a whole, I'd say, Scooby-Doo. It reminds me of Scooby-Doo. Kirby reminds me of Scooby-Doo. When I was sick and Scooby-Doo would come on, I could not stand Scooby-Doo. It was so boring seeing Scooby-Doo and Star Trek. That was another one. Listen, when those came on, just couldn't do it. I'll give it an 8.
There we go. All right, we got a number, baby.
What about you?
I would probably give it out of 185. I would be higher than you. Whatever number you're going to give, I'm going to go higher because I really do like the Metroid
I'll say
series.
a 98 then.
Then I'm going 99. And it's still worse than Zelda and Mario. But I really do like the Metroid series. You mentioned a couple that I'm right there with you. I don't go back to the original NES release of Metroid, and I don't necessarily love the Game Boy release of Metroid. Metroid 2 Return of Samus. I think
I like it more than the original NES version.
Yes. I think they both fill a good niche, especially early Metroids, but those are very difficult to kind of play through. There's no like quality of life stuff that they learned from like Super Metroid that really got integrated everywhere else. As far as my favorite Metroid, though, it is a remake of the first one, and it's Zero Mission. That's my favorite Metroid. And then probably followed by the Metroid Prime Remastered. I really enjoyed that remaster of Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Was it Zero Mission or Fusion, the one where you had someone hunting you down?
That was Fusion with the SAX. Okay. Zero Mission did not have that.
Do you think they have that because of Fusion? Do you think that's why they have it in Dread? They're like, oh, they had that in Fusion. Let's bring it back.
Absolutely. It was kind of built into that
Mission
DNA.
Was really good.
But I do like Fusion as well. I really like Fusion too. It's probably my number 3.
Were both of those games?
No, I take that back. Dread is my number 2. All right, Metroid Zero Mission, Dread, Metroid Prime 1 Remastered, Fusion. And then for my 5th one, Samus Returns on the 3DS. The remake of Metroid 2.
Yes. The one that was announced during the, but what about were both the Zero Mission and Fusion GameCube to Game Boy Advance like link cable games? Where they like unlocked something
Zero Mission
in
was.
the other
Fusion
game?
was. Fusion was. I don't know if Zero Mission was.
Because it came out the same day, right? Was it Fusion that came out the same day as Prime or Prime 2?
I think so, because it came out the same day as Prime. It was Fusion. Yeah, it was Fusion. It wasn't Zero Mission. Zero Mission came out the next year, the following year, I think.
Every time I have a question, I just need to know it's Fusion. So I'm like, was it Fusion? Yeah, it was Fusion.
But those are my top. Those are my top 5, I would say.
Top 5?
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. It's got to be. I don't know why, but I just love it so much, especially with that Rumble Pack with a K, PAK, Metroid Pinball. Okay.
The DS Rumble Pack?
Yeah, the DS Rumble Pack.
You mean this bad boy?
Yes, I do mean that bad boy.
With a K. I keep that in my analog pocket because my analog pocket actually enables the Rumble feature for Game Boy Color games that had the Rumble feature in it. If you have the DS Rumble Pack in it.
Awesome, that's
great. It's crazy.
I love that. Yeah, so that's number 5. It might even be higher now that I think about it. And yeah, number 4 was probably, I mean, everyone loves the Prime multiplayer, but probably, I think number 4 is probably Super Metroid, and then, no. Super Metroid.
I get it. That game is highly regarded.
Yeah, but I think I like Fusion and Zero Mission more. And I also like Dread and Prime. Golly. But Pinball's definitely in there. It's, something.
Top 5,
top
baby.
5-ish, yeah.
Some stats for the people, just to let you guys know, because this is... This is where we're going to get into the final question in this segment, but so here are stats for the franchise. First Metroid, this is how many units it sold, 2.73 million units. So near 3 million units in the NES days, which was revolutionary at that time. That's crazy amounts of numbers. The GBA release of it, less than 1 million.
But it was also an early NES game, wasn't it?
It was.
So
Metroid.
It was there for a long time.
Metroid 2 Return of Samus, the Game Boy version, sold 1.72 million copies. The 3DS version, less than 1 million. And that is the remake. That's not like a 3DS virtual, virtual console version. Super Metroid sold 1.42 million. Metroid Fusion 1.39 million. Metroid Prime on the GameCube, we got back up to big numbers again, 2.84 million. But the Switch release of it,
which only is a lot, because the GameCube did not sell.
No, it didn't. Switch release of it, 1.09 million. Metroid Prime 2, 1.1 million. Metroid Prime Pinball, less than a million. Metroid Prime Hunters, 1.08 million. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, 1.41 million. The following three, less than a million on all of them, and that was the Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Wii, Metroid Other M, and Metroid Prime Federation Force. And then finally, the most recent release, Metroid Dread, 3.07 million, which is the highest sales period for a Metroid game. Here's my question for you, and this is the final question I've got. Do you feel like this game will sell enough to keep this franchise alive and not become the new F-Zero all over again? Because there was a long period of time we really didn't have anything Metroid. And then suddenly we had this revitalization with Samus Returns, with Dread. I mean, really, it had been since the Wii days. So, do you think that this game is the hype going to keep it afloat enough? Are there going to be enough people that want to adopt into buying this game? Do you think it's going to be good enough? Because overall, like, most of the scores there on aggregate are high 80s. If you were to average all of those out, it'd probably be an 89 to a 90 on all of those games in a Metacritic score. So the score doesn't matter, it seems like. But the sales figures is what's going to determine whether or not we get another Metroid game ever again. Do you think this game is going to do well enough?
So what do I think it will do well enough?
Mm-hmm.
I think it will sell at least.
I suppose a better question would be do you think the success of this game is going to determine whether or not they continue doing Metroid games? And then if you do you think this game will do well enough to keep the franchise alive?
I think this game will. I mean, it's a first-person game. Let me ask you this: do you know off the top of your head what sells better, Mario, 3D Mario or 2D Mario games?
I would argue that 2D Mario games do, but that's just my own bias. I'll tell you what: Super Mario main series sales. Let's just go let's do some real life journalism right now, right here. First Super Mario Bros. 40.2 million units sold. That's because it was bundled with the NES though, so that doesn't count. Super Mario Bros. 2, 37.7 million units sold. That one wasn't bundled, so that's a bigger deal. Lost Levels, 2.65 million, but that was released only in Japan at the time. Super Mario Bros. 3, 40 million. Super Mario Land, 18. Super Mario World, 34 million. Super Mario Lands 2 and 3, 16 million lumped together. Super Mario All-Stars, 12 million. Super Mario World 2, 6.95 million. 64 back to 32 million. Sunshine, 15 million. NSMB 1 and 2, 44 million. Galaxy, 21 million. I would say 2D Mario. 2D Mario outsells 3D Mario by a gigantic standard. Odyssey so far has sold 29 million, and it's probably one of the best-selling 3D Mario titles that I've seen on this list at 29.04 million.
Okay, yeah. I see the reason why I think that this could sell more than Dread is because it'll be like one of like the first big Switch 2 games, like showcases showing off 120 frames per second, their new gimmick.
Does Mario Kart not have that?
What?
120 frames per second.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying in the first year, this will be like, because Donkey Kong, as of right now, from what they've said, doesn't have that. But yeah, And it's out in the first year. I don't know how. I think it will sell at least, I want to say 4 million.
Okay, so it does not have 120 frames per second. In TV mode, Mario Kart World is 1440p 60 frames per second. In handheld and tabletop mode, it's 1080p 60 frames per second.
Well, they have the
Engadget's senior writer Sam Rutherford says that it has 120 frames per second mode, and it's, and quotes, damn good. But the updated article says that they do not reference a 120 frame per second mode in anything, in any media. It was just a misquote from Sam Rutherford.
So that's where the 120 came from? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, this will be like the big showcase for it because Donkey Kong doesn't do it. They don't do it.
Right.
I think with it, by the time they're done talking about what the game does in terms of, how after a while they just kind of stop updating it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be the game that ends up being like more. So I think 4 million units, and I think they will make another Metroid. I also think they're also at the same time working on a new 2D Metroid.
That's a big statement. 4 million units. I mean, Dread is their best-selling Metroid period ever out of all of them standalone. So I mean, right. I don't doubt that they're doing more 2D. I personally think if this one does not do well enough, we will not see Prime 5.
Right.
Do I think we'll see 4 million units? Highly possible. The landscape for gamers has completely changed compared to what it was when Metroid Prime was in its prime. But
I see what you did there.
But I think that we will absolutely see a leap in sales numbers, mainly because the amount of gamers that are out there, and the fact that it is multi-platform. It's not just on one console. The rest of those came out on one console originally. This is bridging two consoles. So you're going to have the install base of the Switch 1, and you're going to have the adopters of Switch 2. So they're going to have a lot more sales numbers to reference whenever they release their financials for it. So, but no, that is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and everything that we've got to look forward to. Let us know if you are watching this later over on YouTube. Let us know what you think about Metroid Prime, whether or not this series, the success of this game, is going to determine whether or not we get another Metroid Prime game or another Metroid game in general. We'd love to hear from you guys over in the commenters over on chat. But we do have a couple more segments left. We've got the Nintendo Fast Forward presented by Chris Becker. So we'll catch you guys right after this jump. Chris, tell the people what's coming out.
Let me tell you. Okay. We've got a game coming out on Thursday, which is American Arcadia. Okay. This game came out in 2023 on PC, and now it is coming out to Nintendo Switch. This is it's not just coming to Switch, but it's also like coming to consoles in general. And it's kind of like one of those games that's like, the gameplay is almost kind of like something you might see from like Inside. It's like a cinematic puzzle 2D platform like game, puzzle platform game. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the fact that this game, not only did it come out, but it is on its way this week. Very excited to play it. Did you ever play like Inside and all those games?
I didn't play Inside. I watched a lot of Inside get played, but I played a ton of Limbo, and I've played quite a bit of Cocoon, and I love those games. I really wanted to play Inside, but by the time I got around to being able to play it, I had already watched so much gameplay from it that every single puzzle had been spoiled for me. I was like, well, no reason to play it now. I'm hoping that there's a game that eventually comes out like that is not so dependent upon you needing to be the first person to play it and having a little bit more open gameplay style.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's very linear. This one is kind of the same thing. It's like this person is like living in this. You play as a character living in this world but then it turns out like everyone around you is like actors, and they're like you're in a like not in a simulation but like on a stage. Everyone around you is actors, like your best friends and everything. It's almost like the Truman Show come to life in a game. Yeah, it's really good. I played the game on PC. It is from the developers Out of the Blue Games. They also did Call of the Sea. That is a game that did not come to Switch, but it did come to Xbox, and it was like a Game Pass game. So that's where I played that. But that was a first person game. This is definitely a little bit different than that, but yeah, definitely a game. I enjoyed it on PC. Glad that it's coming to the Switch. The other game coming out on the 16th, which would be Friday, correct? Yeah. Which is Capcom Fighting Collection 2. The reason I'm excited for this is because it has Power Stone 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal because those games are definitely... Power Stone in general is very beloved.
Right. Yeah, I really enjoyed them. Looking forward to being able to play that. Power Stone 1 and 2. So it's coming to the Switch, but then again, with the Switch 2 looming, it's hard to get excited to get a Switch game if I don't know a Switch 2 version is coming. Mm-hmm. Which brings us to our next game, of course.
Oh, hang on. How much is this one? When's it come out?
$39.99. It comes out on Friday. Which is, the Fighting Game Collection 2. Like I said, the games that I'm looking forward to the most from it, you should see the list right there. But yeah, Power Stone 1 and 2, very much looking forward to that.
All right.
But yeah, the last game, because we're not recording until the 22nd, this game comes out on the 22nd. This is Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. Did you ever play the original Fantasy Life game?
Did not. It really wasn't my jam, so it never caught me. But I've heard a lot of people really like Fantasy Life in general, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah, because, so you can go out and adventure if you want, or you can just be a farmer, and then you're able to complete the game without getting into combat. At least you could in the first game. And so this one has online multiplayer. It's coming to the Switch. They announced on Twitter that it is coming. I believe they might have only announced it in Japanese, but it's coming for 300 yen, which is like $2. For the Switch 2 upgrade pack. This comes out like 2 weeks before the Switch, right? So might even be 2 weeks before the Switch, I believe.
Yep, because we are sitting at 23 days until Switch 2 launches, so at time of recording this.
So it says May 21st, but yeah, it is I believe that is by the time it comes out here, it'll be Thursday. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Fantasy Life, if you've seen the Nintendo Direct, you know that this game looked a little rough when they showed it at the Direct. So it does come out on the 21st. It's $59.99, and then they said that there will be a Switch 2 upgrade pack, which is exciting for anyone looking to play this on the Switch 2. But there's no date or time frame for when that's coming. So this is one of those games where I'm just going to wait and just get it when it comes to the Switch.
Edition upgrade. You can buy
That's just for the digital deluxe
version
edition
DLC for $13.99. So
I believe
that's
that just gives you like costumes and stuff. That's what they do with all their other games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
absolutely.
but yeah, it'll be there before you know it. But yeah, that comes out on the 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
We got a couple more segments still yet left in the show. The next segment is Pixman. Before we throw it over to the outro, we have a game show segment that we play here called Pixel Minute, or Pixman for short. In this segment, Chris has exactly 1 minute to guess the exact title of a game based on an image that is highly pixelated and will slowly reveal itself over the course of 60 seconds. The game in question, the one that will be popping up on screen, will be one that was released this week in Nintendo history. Maybe not this specific week, but this week in the many years that Nintendo has been in business. So the faster that he guesses, the more points that he's going to get. And if it fully reveals itself by the end of the song, he loses. Chris, I'm going to get my camera situated so that way you can see it.
Yep,
You let me know when you're looking at it. So far, you do have 0 points. We're going to try to get you some points today. I think you got a good chance of doing it today. I believe in Chris. We need people to believe in Chris. So, Chris, are you ready, my good sir? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I got it taking up the full screen so that I don't look at the I don't see the chat. Yeah.
Yep. You're all good. The chat doesn't pop up on here for you, but it would pop up if you were looking at the actual chat. And chat, feel free to guess along too if you are playing at home. We are going to get started with the Pixman.
What the heck is this? Okay, it's red and blue, pink and red. Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES.
All right, we're gonna wait until that image is revealed enough. Is that your final
I think you're playing
guess?
as Donatello. Yeah.
That is your final guess. You're locking that one in.
Yeah. Bebop and Rocksteady, and April O'Neil's in the top right hand corner. Yeah, that's my final guess.
You got it. You've got 43 points on the board, coming back from a 00. I honestly kind of thought you would definitely get this one. Because A, I knew it was a franchise that you loved, and B, it was not a numbered entry. It was the very first one. So I was like, okay, if I do one with a number, it's gonna be bad. But congratulations, Pitter in the live chat guessing Turkey Turnaround. Unfortunately, not that one. But
that was my second guess. My second guess, Pitt. Thank you.
Man, 43 points on the board, my dude. So the points don't matter. Let me just say that right now. The points don't matter. It's just a point of pride.
They matter to me.
At this point, they truly should. They truly should. We got a few things of extra Nintendo news. There is a new sweepstakes on the My Nintendo store. It is called the My Nintendo Adventure Awaits Legend of Zelda Sweepstakes. The winner receives not only a Breath of the Wild panel poster, but also a Tears of the Kingdom metal panel poster. Those are both 24 inches by 20 inches, along with a Twilight Princess complete box set of the 11-volume manga. Play and redeem icons are Donkey Kong Country. I should probably tell you guys, it's like 10 platinum points per entry, and you can enter up to 5 times. I didn't write that in my notes. I forgot.
You gotta let them know.
I do. They need to know how many times they can enter into this random sweepstakes. Play and redeem icons are Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, and Yoshi's Story. Those are still available. F-Zero 99 icons are still available until May 20th, and those will rotate weekly. They haven't rotated yet from last week when we originally talked about those, but they will be rotating typically on Tuesdays for that. Finally, new and returning Kirby and the Forgotten Land icons are available until May 22nd and will continue to rotate weekly. Those rotate on Thursdays, so last week's are still in effect too right now. And then there aren't any current sales, but the new that are new. But Sifu is $11.99 now. For those who don't know, Sifu is like a 3D fight 'em, beat 'em up kind of game with a whole lot of really cool kung fu going on in it. Yeah, roguelike. and it is amazing, but I'd also recommend Animal Well. It's not like on a deep discount, but it is $5 off at just under $19. You can pick those up. Chris, you mentioned there was something else that we needed to bring up during this, and I forgot what it was. I think you already talked about it.
It was
Hogwarts
Fantasy Life.
Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hogwarts Legacy is on sale for $17.99 until the 19th of May. And then if you own the Switch 1 version, you can get the Switch 2 version for $10. But yeah.
Absolutely. So if you want to get the Switch 2 version, you can, and you can lock in the base version of it at that $17.99 right now, which is a good deal.
Bell Nuggets.
It's on sale for the next 6 days.
Thank you, Mel.
Thanks, Mel. There is a new creator's voice over on Nintendo.com featuring Naoki Hamaguchi, series director for Final Fantasy VII Remake, that you guys can read through to see what they did to optimize for the Switch 2 Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Donkey Kong Bonanza may have local multiplayer based on a website listing for it over on Nintendo somewhere. Very descriptive, I know. Though we're honestly just speculating, it may be similar to what we saw in Super Mario Odyssey, where one person plays as Cappy and one person plays as Mario. This is going to be someone plays as Odd Rock, someone plays as Donkey Kong, is kind of what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Tariffs may still have an impact on Switch 2's price. It remains unchanged for now, but Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa did state in an interview that a price change could occur in the future depending on the situation. Nintendo has also, and these are two very controversial topics, I would ask people in the live chat and maybe people over on YouTube, definitely sound off. Let us know what you think about these two things. But they updated their terms and conditions stating two things that are pretty controversial. One, Nintendo may record video and audio from game chat sessions on Switch 2. I personally hate that. That feels like a gigantic invasion of my privacy. It's not that I'm doing anything bad on a Nintendo console, and I don't really care. But if I did use it, I really don't want that recorded. But that's just where I'm at.
Doesn't Discord
I don't know.
calls?
I don't know if they do or not. I haven't paid attention to those terms, but I definitely paid attention to Nintendo's.
I think there is an option to opt out of it, but when it became a thing, it automatically got turned on and you had to go in and turn it off. So
listen, we're Nintendo Rewind, not Discord Rewind. I haven't paid attention to that. So
well, we're calling on Discord.
We are. And then the second item here that is a big deal is in those updated terms and conditions, they stated that they reserve the right to brick your system if you're caught bypassing their safeguards, which is essentially if you choose to emulate on there or hack your Nintendo Switch 2, they can brick that system, which definitely goes into a conversation about being anti-consumer. Where's the line of ownership? I paid them $500 for this machine. I should be able to do what I want with it. Different things like that. Right to repair is also really important. I don't know how to truly articulate how upsetting that is from like a buyer's standpoint, but Chris, how are you feeling about that specific topic too?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it will just they're. I don't know if you know if Microsoft or Sony have similar language in their terms of service, or if this is just something to have on here.
It's important enough that it became headlines, so I would assume that this isn't normal.
So obviously they didn't have it on the Switch then.
No, they didn't.
They're just adding it for the Switch too.
Yeah, they didn't. So sound off in the comments how you guys feel about that. Let us know what you think. We'd love to know. And if you'd like to engage in any of the discussion here, you can hit up our website over at NintendoRewind.com. Go find the Discord link and go join us over there. Maybe in the description you can join it there as well. Couple of other things. We did run a poll over on our Threads page earlier this week, asking which games people are most excited to play on launch day, and 71% of voters don't mind my big ugly mug there. I did vote for Mario Kart World as well. We had 70 votes go. 71% of voters say Mario Kart World. 7% of people said Cyberpunk 2077, and I think that's going to be like the weird breakout hit that no one's really expecting to be a hit on that console. But I was surprised by that. 10% for GameCube NSO and 11% for other. No welcome tour choice. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, because I also posted another poll up there today. About 10 hours ago. The poll is still in effect. You are getting live results right now. 57 votes. Ends in 13 and a half hours. Nintendo Switch 2 welcome tour. Yes or no, regardless of whether it should have been a packing game or not. And I didn't specify yes or no on anything. I just said yes or no. And people just said no, 70% of voters. Let me just say this much. Whoops, wrong thing. I want to see the replies on this. Chris says someone needs to find everyone who said yes. So,
Yeah.
it's freaking hilarious. But if you're not following us over there, please go over to Threads and follow us and engage with our content over there. We're posting our daily countdown every single day, and a couple of other extra pieces of news that happens throughout the week that we maybe don't address on the show or on videos elsewhere. So, Chris, where can they find you, my good sir?
Pretty much Super Nintendo on everything. Yeah, you can find me there. I've been streaming more on TikTok. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
Tom
what
links
about you?
to it
Where
on
can
his
they
link
find you?
tree. Go find his link tree. You can find all that stuff. It's linked there in the live chat. For me, you can find me over at nerdwireplays.com for all the stuff. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I won't be around for like a week and a half. And the next time you see me, we'll be right here again. But you can find me over there. Remember, you can catch all of our past episodes in video form on YouTube at youtube.com/@the-Nintendo-Rewind. Visit our site for links to all of our social media pages at nintendorewind.com. Maybe consider supporting the show through your memberships or maybe buying a piece of merch. We do have a new piece of merch over there too. That is, I got to show the people that. That is actually a really cool piece of merch that we've put up. It is Chris and I, where we are the design of the shirt, and it's very abstract. Let me pull it up here. I'm going to show the people real quick before we move on. You can get it. This is the design. And there's Chris and I with NES and a Super Nintendo, and it comes in a few different colors all the way up to 4XL. This is a Comfort Colors garment too, so really really high quality t-shirt. I've had a few of the shirts from our store, and I'm always really happy with the quality. Super comfortable. Very 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 nice quality. Oh, there it is! Exclamation point merch. Take straight to it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you can catch us live weekly, typically Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Sorry for the schedule change up this week on a Monday and then next week on a Thursday. But on Twitch and YouTube, Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We love your faces. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Remember, please be kind and rewind. Take it easy. Peace.